Welcome, everyone, to Sportsman's Park here in Hobbs, New Mexico. Time for Hobbs Eagle Baseball live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. It's playoff time. It's game number 2 of the best-of-3 series with your Hobbs Eagles and the Las Cruces Bulldogs. Hopefully not having to play a third game today. We have one last night. Of course, the Eagles winning 5-2. Since it is a best-of-3, if Hobbs wins this second game, they will move on to the quarterfinals next Thursday in Albuquerque, right next door to the pit there at the UNM Lobo Field. Well, the Eagles with that 5-2 win yesterday, some big hitting coming in from Eric McNabb. He went 3 for 3 in that contest, had 2 RBIs, 3 runs, and a steal, and had 2 singles, including a RBI triple to finish up his at-bat. So definitely a big game, powerful game for him to keep the Eagles in the contention for the victory there. Hobbs getting up with 6 hits in the contest, singles apiece for Colton Graham, an RBI single. Edwin Perez had an RBI single for the Eagles, as well as Marcus Alderete. So there's where all the big hits came from, 3 for McNabb and 1 apiece for Graham, Perez, and Alderete. Eagles only walked twice in that game, so pretty good pitching at times there from Solorzano, the starter for Las Cruces. But Hobbs struck out 12 times. Still managed a 3-run victory, though. But those type of numbers got to be careful as the playoffs move along, because after this week, it's 1 and you're done. So hopefully the Eagles can get the hitting going again in this game, especially with some of the guys that stepped up yesterday. In terms of Las Cruces in Game 1, they finished up with 7 hits and actually took a lead at one point, tied the game up at 2-2 as well with the home run. But their top hitters, Zakai Hawkins, he was 2 for 3, had an RBI single and a triple. Also, Steve Solorzano, who was the starting pitcher, he went 2 for 2. He was the one that hit the home run, a solo homer, also added a double and was hit by a pitch. So he got on base all 3 times. He'll be the shortstop in this ball game, so he's definitely got some big-time Division I caliber type play. He was already got support from New Mexico State to play for them, but he is just a junior, so he has 1 more season left as a high school player. So those 2 guys combined for 4 of the 7 hits, a majority. Ryan Padilla, the second baseman, went 1 for 3 as well with a single and a run scored. And that's about it. Only 3 guys getting hits for Las Cruces in that 5-2 loss. They were struck out 7 times. Of course, starting pitcher getting his 7th win, Zach McPeters, doing a great job for Hobbs, and he'll get a chance to rest a few days. He not rest in terms of being out on the field, but rest at the mound. He'll be back on Thursday or Friday, depending on what game he will be inserted in for the playoffs as they continue with the quarterfinals. So it will be on the mound today for the Hobbs Eagles, pitching Colton Graham, and against the Las Cruces Bulldogs, Zakai Hawkins. Now, Hawkins did not play against the Eagles back on April 1st, so it's his first action against Hobbs in this one here at Sportsman's Park. They're having the meeting of the coaches right now with the umpires, getting ready for this contest. Hobbs coming in with a 21-6 record for Coach Marco Boyle, and for the Las Cruces Bulldogs, it's Coach Padilla with a 20-7 record. In fact, this is their first 20-win season in 10 years, going back to 2012 for Las Cruces. So they're kind of moving up in the rankings just a little bit. And they ended up 3rd in their district, though, even with that stellar record. So tells you a little bit tough competition going on in that Southwest district that they played with, of course, Oregon Mountain, who's in the playoffs, and a couple other teams there battling it out. Centennial, another one pretty decent. That actually, Centennial had an upset yesterday in the first round. That's a best-of-3 series, though, as they came up with their win against Cleveland. Centennial, the number 11 seed, beating Cleveland in that first game 9-0, shutting out the Storm, and that was up in Rio Rancho. So that's one of the big upsets in the playoffs yesterday. Some of the other games, too. Carlsbad had a back-to-back homers to win their game over El Dorado 4-0. Carlsbad, the number 1 seed, El Dorado at number 16. So kind of a nail-biter one for the Caveman fans there. Farmington get a mild upset over Rio Grande, the number 9 seed over the number 8, 3-1. That's another game that was, or another combination that's in our top of the bracket. And then Oregon Mountain coming back from behind to defeat Los Lunas in the first game of their series last night. So that gets Oregon Mountain 7-3 win over Los Lunas. They'll have a doubleheader today if needed, unless Oregon Mountain wins Game 2. We're getting ready for the announcements to get going here. We'll take a break. You're listening to Hobbs Eagle Playoff Baseball against Las Cruces High at Sportsman's Park. We'd like to thank our sponsors, including IPS, Lasco Construction, Hobbs Rental, XL Energy, Divine Energy Services, TDS, Eunice Pump and Supply, also Thrifty La Tienda Groceries, and R360. Hobbs versus Las Cruces in just a few minutes. You're listening live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Back in 2 minutes. Back live here at Sportsman's Park. Ty Friend here with you as the Hobbs Eagles getting ready for Game 2 of the best-of-3 series in the 5A playoffs, taking on Las Cruces. Again, the Eagles winning yesterday 5-2. Winning pitcher Zach McPeters as he's beat the Solorzano, the starter for Las Cruces, who is already committed to New Mexico State. So a big win for Hobbs in that one. Record now 21-6, 20-7 for Las Cruces. Take a look at the offensive numbers for both teams. The Hobbs Eagles batting .312 this season. And yesterday they picked up another 6 hits to their totals. Hobbs so far has got a total of 211 hits. They've also been managing a bunch of doubles. In fact, their leader at this point for the Eagles with 5 is Eric McNabb. And, of course, he had the big numbers last night in terms of 3-for-3 batting at the plate. I should mention, actually, Bird is leading in doubles with 6 total. In the triple category, Sikoris leading with 5. Colton Graham has 4, and Eric McNabb with 3. He added another one last night. And in the home runs, a total of 17 for the Eagles. Did not get one last night, but the leader is Sikoris with 7, and 2 apiece for Singleton and Bird. Offensive numbers for the Las Cruces Bulldogs. They're batting .303 this season, so they went up a little bit after last night's numbers. They had a total of 6 hits in that game, and for the season at 204 hits. Their leader in RBIs is Solorzano. He has 33 on the team and 26 for Hawkins, who's the starting pitcher tonight, or at this afternoon. The leader in RBIs is Solorzano once again. He's got 25 and 16 for Hawkins. For the doubles, it's 11 for Solorzano. He continues to lead in quite a few categories. In terms of the triples, the leader is Solorzano again with 3. And in home runs, you guessed it, Solorzano. He has 5 of the 9 homers. There's been 11 triples so far for Las Cruces and 44 doubles. Take a look at the starting lineups for both squads. First for Las Cruces. At first is Perez, Padilla at second, and Ratke at third. Solorzano will be the shortstop in this one. Left to right in the outfield, Escondon, Aragon, and Hernandez. Valenzuela behind the plate. We'll take a quick break for the national anthem. Be back here in 90 seconds. Wrapping up the national anthem here at Sportsman's Park. Hobbs Eagle playoff baseball, Game 2 of the best-of-3 series. The Eagles taking on Las Cruces High. Winner goes to the quarterfinals, and they'll take on the winner of the Organ Mountain Los Lunas lineup. Those two are going at it again today for a potential doubleheader. Organ Mountain won the first game 7-3, and if they win the second one, they will be in the quarterfinals. Again, that game is Thursday, by the way, at UNM's Lobo Field. That'll start at 10 o'clock there in Albuquerque. Eagles starting lineup, first through third. Al Duretti at first, Armendariz at second, Bird at third. Sikoris will be the shortstop, and from left to right in the outfield, Kirkendall, McNabb, and McPeters. Singleton behind the plate at catcher. Colton Graham, the starting pitcher, coming in his 11th game. He's got a record of 6-3 and an ERA of 1.66. He did play against this Las Cruces team back in April in the second game. Graham went 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and struck out 7 Bulldog batters. Eagles wearing their gold uniforms here today with the gray pants, black hats. Las Cruces in their blues with the gray pants and white lettering on the uniform. Listening and watching live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Ty Friend here with you. Kind of hoping for just one game in this one. One game for the win for the Eagles here will be the ticket puncher for the quarterfinals. We will be with you next week as well. The Eagles get into the quarterfinals up there at the UNM field. Las Cruces will lead off at the plate. Cam Valenzuela, the catcher. Yesterday, Valenzuela was 0 for 2. He flew out twice in the infield and then was replaced by Sullivan. Again, Colton Graham on the mound for the Eagles. 11th ball game for him. Here's the first pitch quickly for Hobbs. Fastball high for ball one. Again, we'll be watching closely the Oregon Mountain lineup or game against Los Lunas. That started at this time as well. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss for Valenzuela. He kept that one outside, did Graham. And the count now 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike now. The windup of the throw from Graham. Curveball at the end of the bat. It's going to head out towards center field. Shallow will take a dribble, and that'll be a single to start it off for the catcher. 6 hits yesterday for Las Cruces. Eagles getting 1 more, or actually 7 hits for Las Cruces, 6 for the Eagles. And now it's Ryan Padilla, the second baseman, up for the Bulldogs. Padilla went 1 for 3 yesterday. Started off with a single, did score a run, but then struck out and flew out to right field in his next 2 at-bats. Coach Padilla comes down the third baseline for a few words to him. The runner at first is Valenzuela. Graham going to go with a fastball. Whoa, that looked pretty close to the strike zone. A little high for ball one, though, on the ump call. Of course, in the same bracket side of the Eagles, Carlsbad had come from behind. Not from behind, but they were a close game. Was 4-0 final, and they won yesterday over number 16 El Dorado in Carlsbad. Fastball outside for ball 2. 2-0 count now to Padilla. He's second in the order for Las Cruces. Salarazano and Hawkins third and fourth. As a leadoff coming from Valenzuela. Graham going to fire the fastball. Clips the outside corner for the strike. Count goes to 2-1. Both teams with 8 seniors on the roster, although Las Cruces has a lot of reloaders coming back next year. A total of 5 juniors and 5 sophomores. Hobbs with just 3 juniors and a sophomore. Curveball inside. Going to be a bouncer over to Bird at third. Turns and fires a sidewinder and gets it over to Alderetti for the out on the 5-3 for out number 1. Valenzuela does get to second. So 1 down now here at Sportsman's Park. Valenzuela on second. And now third in the order, Steve Salarazano, the guy the Eagles had to watch closely. He's 2 for 2 last night with a home run. Also got a double and was hit by a pitch, so on base all 3 times, and he was at the plate. Got a little size out there as well. Already a commit to New Mexico State, as we mentioned. Just a junior, though. Graham taking a little bit more time to spy for the call here behind the plate to Singleton, the catcher. Here's the windup in the throw. Fastball whacked right through Graham out to short. Scooped up by Sikoris. And makes the throw to first for another out to Alderetti on the 6-3. But that does get Valenzuela to third base. So 2 down now for the Bulldogs. Hobbs was up 2-1 at the end of the first inning last night's ball game. Got 2 more runs in the 5th and added 1 in the 3rd with that 5-2 victory. Las Cruces a run in the 1st and the 3rd. Graham's quickly ready to reload. Had to wait for Hawkins to step in. He is the cleanup man, the pitcher in this ball game. Curveball to him. Little flinch by Hawkins. Takes the first pitch a strike. Hawkins 2 for 3 last night. An RBI single and a triple. Him and Salarazano combined for 4 of the 7 Bulldog hits. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball high for ball 1 to even up the count at 1-1. Mentioned Hawkins, the starting pitcher in today's game. Be his 11th contest. Just a 1-1 record, though. 3 saves and a 2.13 ERA. Curveball. This is going out towards left field, and backpedaling forward is Kirkendall to make the catch. First he came up and then decided, hey, this is going to go back a little further than I expected, and got back and made the catch. And that'll be out number 3 on the flyout to left by Hawkins. So 1 hit, 1 runner left on base at third. No runs come across. We head to the bottom of the first. Your score 0-0 here at Sportsman's Park. Back with more Hobbs Eagle baseball in 60 seconds. Playoffs continue here at Sportsman's Park. Hobbs Eagles taking on Las Cruces. Today's game's brought to you by Lasco Construction, IPS, Hobbs Rental, XL Energy, TDS, Eunice Pump and Supply, Divine Energy Services, Thriftway and Latina Groceries, and R360. Ty Friend here with you as the Eagles and Las Cruces 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. Hobbs at the plate. Starter for Las Cruces at the mound is sophomore Zakai Hawkins. He's got a 1-1 record, his 11th game, 3 saves, and a 2.13 ERA. Did not play against the Eagles, at least on the mound, in the last series back April 1st on April Fool's Day. Of course, 2 games that Las Cruces won here at Sportsman's Park. 11-2 and 2-1. Of course, the Eagles returned the favor last night with the 5-2 win here in the playoffs. The lefty steps up first for the Eagles, Bernie Sikoris. Sikoris on the season, batting .375. Of course, the Eagles is a team at .312 heading into this game. Last night, Sikoris was 0 for 2. Did get a walk to start the game. Got a steal and a run. First run of the game for the Eagles. Struck out on the second at bat and flew out to center on number 3. First pitch outside for ball 1. Sikoris the shortstop today. Fastball outside for ball 2. McNabb, Graham, and Perez 2 through 4 in the order. A lot of pressure on Hawkins being just a sophomore here. A very important game, too. They got to win it. Fastball high for ball 3, and so now Sikoris well ahead of the count. Hobbs wins this game. It will be on to the quarterfinals. Don't have to worry about a third game after this one. 3-0 count now. Pitch coming from Hawkins. Fastball outside. Ooh, they just said barely clipped the outside corner. Looked a little bit out to me, but I'm not the guy wearing the black uniform behind the plate. So now 3-1 the count. Still ahead is Sikoris. Fastball, swing and a miss. Some good power on that pitch on the fastball, and now the count is full at 3-2. And Eagles with 6 hits yesterday. 3 of those from McNabb, so half of the total is fastball high for ball 4, and that will send Sikoris to first base. So both teams, with their first at bat, get on the first bag. And now that brings in Eric McNabb, the center fielder. McNabb perfect last night. 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs, 3 runs, and a steal. Got the triple and 2 singles. McNabb on the season at .383, 28 hits, 18 RBIs, 5 doubles, 3 triples, and a homer. Fastball is going to be hit high in the air towards right shallow. The second baseman going to shift over and calls off his outfielder to make the catch. So the out number 1, caught by Padilla. And that'll bring up Colton Graham now, third in the order. He is a starting pitcher, of course, for Hobbs in this one. Graham batting .353. Got 29 hits, 27 RBIs, 3 doubles, 4 triples, and a home run. Yesterday, Graham went 1 for 3 with an RBI single. That was in the 6th inning as the Eagles pull up the 5-2 win. Fastball inside and high for ball 1 on the first pitch coming from Hawkins. Salvarizano in yesterday's game. He's the shortstop in this one. 1-0 count. No score here with the leadoff at first for the Eagles for Sikoris. Fastball, the steal's on the way. The throw down over the top of the second bag, but it's backed up by the shortstop. Actually, I believe that was the second baseman that backed up as the shortstop Salvarizano was covering second, and kind of a lofty throw that time. It gets enough time for Sikoris to get there on the steal. Of course, he had one yesterday to start it off for the Eagles. 2-0 count now to Graham. Third in the order for Hobbs. Takes a curveball inside, and he's got to pop and jump away from that one. Kind of on a pogo stick that time to get away from that sizzler coming inside. Count goes to 3-0. Again, getting up well on the count, just like Sikoris did to start it off. Pitch coming on the inside again. Gets off the catcher's glove, and that's going to be a wild one. As getting to third will be Sikoris. And a walk issued to Graham. It's already 2 walks now for the Hobbs Eagles with runners at first and third. We got a courtesy runner coming in for the Eagles, and that will be number 4. Double check to see who that is. Must be one of the JV players here because I don't have that on my regular roster. So we'll double check to see who number 4 is here just a second. Saul Armendariz comes on, not Hector, but Saul, of course, Hector is a starter today at second base. Get to see a new kid out on the bases for Hobbs. Carry ball inside is a blooper for the Eagles, out to short, and the throw kind of behind first base, but it's connected as Edwin Perez will be thrown out, the DH. That'll be an RBI, or fielder's choice, but an RBI score too, as Sikoros gets across for the first run for the Eagles. They go up 1-0 here in the first inning. So go ahead and call that a sack instead, get my terminology right here. Sack RBI for Edwin Perez. Marcus Alderete now 5th in the order for the Eagles. He was 1 for 3 yesterday with an RBI single. Pitch goes inside on the curve, and it's rolled around a little bit by the catcher, just kind of playing around with it. Valenzuela was wanting to see if the runner was going to try to advance. That was Graham at second, or actually Armendariz, the courtesy runner. 1 ball and no strikes with 2 down. Ooh, hit right in the middle of the back. Alderete gets wallop. You can hear it all the way up here in the stands. So hit by a pitch was Alderete. Now runners at first and second. For some reason, Armendariz sprinted to third, thought he was going to get an extra base there. Coach Boyle told him to get on back. So runners at first and second for the Eagles. They do have 2 outs, though. Lead 1-0. Major Bird, the third baseman, now out on the plate. Bird is .254 on the season with 13 hits, 17 RBIs, 6 doubles, and 2 homers. Bird went 0 for 2 yesterday. Did get on base in his first at-bat with a walk. Curve inside, and they call that one a strike. Boy, they keep rushing back the Hobbs Eagle offensive players here at the plate, but that one called a strike. 0-1 count now. Bird 6th in the order for the Eagles. Hawkins takes a peek at second a few times. Now back again. Now he's going to throw the curveball, and this one barely inside for another ball. 1-1 count now for Bird. Kirkendall, McPeters, and Singleton 7 through 9 in the order for Hobbs. Eagles up 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Hawkins going to throw a low fastball. Almost gets through the legs of Valenzuela behind the plate. He's able to keep it down. Pops up and makes the runner stay where they're at. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Bird. Bird with 17 RBIs this season. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Hawkins. Fastball. Ooh, a little low, I guess, for ball 3. 3-1 count now to Bird. Bird getting ahead of the count as well. Hawkins spying back at second, turns and fires a fastball outside, ball 4, and good eye for Bird to get the walk. Bird had one yesterday, had one today. Bases are loaded now for the Eagles. Easton Kirkendall, the left fielder. Kirkendall batting on the season at .269, has 11 RBIs, 3 doubles, and a home run. Love to have one here. 17 hits overall. Kirkendall was 0 for 3 yesterday, a couple of strikeouts and a fly to first. Takes another inside curve pitch for the ball. Low on that one for Kirkendall. So Eagles have a chance to get somebody around here to add on to their 1-0 lead with all bases loaded. Again, they do have those 2 outs to deal with. Hawkins take a little bit more time to get the pitch call he wants from Valenzuela. Fastball comes off the edge of the bat of Kirkendall into the middle of the netting for the foul. Count to 1-1. Again, Eagles batting .312 this season coming into this game. 21-6 record. Hawkins turns and fires. Fastball down the pike for the strike. Holding on it was Kirkendall. Count goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Easton Kirkendall. Eagles a little bit eager now, leading off at all 3 bases. Fastball bounces off the chest protector of Valenzuela outside. He lets it roll to the third baseline, and runners stay where they're at on all 3 of the bases for the Eagles. Count to 2-2 off the ball. Hawkins taking his time, sauntering back up to the mound. It's a little blooper out in the shallow left or right field and definitely get some runners that come through. Fastball outside for ball 3. Got a full count now. Kirkendall's going to have to protect the plate. Does not want to go down looking with the bases loaded. Both coaches for the Eagles. Coach Boyle included, trying to get everybody ready to go here, depending what happens. Curveball inside, and just barely misses inside for the ball. That will be a walk and an RBI for Kirkendall. Back-to-back walks issued by sophomore Hawkins. That's going to get Coach Padilla out to the mound to have a discussion with the infield. Eagles now leading 2-0. And this is with 2 outs now, so very critical. They got to get a big discussion here to talk to the sophomore to get him calmed down. We'll take a quick 30-second break, come back with more Hobbs Eagle baseball, leading 2-0 over Las Cruces on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. No change on the mound for Las Cruces. They keep their pitcher out there. Zakai Hawkins is sophomore, but bases are loaded against him. He's given up a total now of 4 walks as Eagles lead 2-0. One of those walks was a score with an RBI. Fastball, crack the middle of the bat, and going to go foul right towards the JV field out of play here at Sportsman's. That's Zach McPeters, the right fielder. He was the starter and the winner last night, the 5-2 win. 7 wins for him on the season. McPeters checks into this one with a .429 batting average, and not bad yesterday. Curveball inside for ball 1. Evens up the count at 1-1. Peters, of course, a signee with the USW Mustangs, will be here next year, and I know his dad's happy about that one to keep the travel down just a bit. Except going to have to go to Texas and Oklahoma a little bit. Curveball inside. Swing and a miss for McPeters. Count now 1-2 with 2 down. McPeters on the season in terms of RBIs for the Eagles, a total of 13. Definitely like to get one here. Curveball low, and the ball is dropped on the pitch, and they're going to go ahead and call the strikeout on that one. So unfortunately, McPeters strikes out, and that'll be out number 3 for the Eagles. Hobbs managing no hits, and they do finish up with 4 walks in the bottom of the first. 2 runs come across, but they leave 3 on base. We go to the top of the second. Your Eagles up 2-0 over Las Cruces. Game 2 of the best-of-3 series here in the playoffs at Sportsman's Park. Coming back at you in 60 seconds. We're here in the second inning here at Sportsman's Park. Playoff baseball on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. The Eagles take on Las Cruces High. All the action today brought to you by our fabulous sponsors, IPS, Lasco Construction, Hobbs Rental, XL Energy, Divine Energy Services, TDS, Thriftway and Latina Groceries, Eunice Pump and Supply, and R360. Your Eagles up 2-0 here over the visiting Bulldogs. Hobbs at 21-6 on the season. The Bulldogs at 20-7. Starter for your Eagles on the mound is Colton Graham. Only saw 4 batters in the top of the first. 1 single given up to start it off, then a couple of groundouts and a flyout. They're in 5th in the order now. Adrian Lopez, the DH. Lopez batting .357 this season with 22 hits, 11 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a home run. First pitch coming from Graham. Fastball outside for ball 1. Lopez yesterday 2 for 3, got a pair of singles, also ground out to second. So he's one of their big hitters from yesterday's action. Fastball high for ball 2 off of Graham. Escandon, Aragon, Ratchi, and Hernandez ran out the order for Las Cruces. 2-0 count now. Graham comes with a fastball down the pike for the strike as Lopez put on the stop sign on that one. Takes a peek over to Coach Padilla at third base, and quick reload for Graham. Fastball outside, trying to drag Lopez across the plate. And they're going to look over to first base to get the call on that one, and they're going to call that one a ball. Looked like there was an extension by Lopez, and some groans from the Hobbs Eagle fans thought that should have been a strike. 3-1 count now to Adrian Lopez, the DH. Graham going to go with the fastball off the middle of the bat, going to go to the right net in the foul territory behind the plate. And we got a full count now to Lopez. Lopez some more of the power for this Las Cruces team. Full count pitch, fastball outside. A little flinch there for Lopez, but he's going to take the walk. First issue to Las Cruces here in this ball game. That'll bring up MJ Escandon. He is 6th in the order, the left fielder. Escandon on the season at the plate. .215 batting average, 14 hits, 7 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a triple. Escandon was 0 for 3 yesterday, a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. So McPeters took care of him, trying to show a bunt. As Singleton got it, he thought about throwing it down to first from behind the plate, takes the strike call and holds on to it, and keeps Lopez at first. 0-1 count now. Here comes a pitch from Graham. Fastball outside for ball 2, or make it ball 1. Count to 1-1. And Lopez really not the speediest guy out on the bases, so I'm kind of surprised they didn't get himself for a courtesy runner here, but he definitely puts it out on the line for him. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Throwing a bunt again. This time a throw down to first from Singleton. The tag is going to be there in time for the out. Nice throw from Singleton right near the bag. And a swipe by Alderetti at first, and that'll be out number 1. So not a good decision on base running for Las Cruces there. We are here in the top of the second inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes to MJ Escandon. Graham's going to come with a fastball high for ball 2. Looks a little bit close here, and Hobbs fans trying to help out the ump just a bit. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Graham curve it. And then right at the bottom of the strike zone, and Escandon, the deer in the headlights syndrome, takes it for strike 3. First K issued by Colton Graham, and 2 down now for Las Cruces. And it looks like Coach Padilla having some words with the plate umpire after that one. Not a happy camper. Angel Aragon now, the center fielder, 7th in the order. Aragon batting .220, or make it .204 this season. He's got 9 hits, 1 RBI, 2 doubles. Aragon went 0 for 3. Ground out to second twice to Socorros yesterday, and also struck out. He was subbed by Everhart late in the ballgame. Fastball outside for ball 1. Ratchke and Hernandez, 8th and 9th in the order for the Bulldogs. Have 1 hit. Starting the game, Cam Valenzuela got the single. Been walked once and struck out once since then. Fastball outside, barely going to clip the corner for the strike. Count even now at 1-1. No runners on the bases for Las Cruces. Graham going to take a little bit more time to get the call he wants from Singleton. Umpire has a 1-2 count down behind the plate. Curveball inside, a bouncer going to go foul right to Coach Padilla in the third base coach's box. He's going to slow pitch it back over to Graham at the mound. One ball and 2 strikes. A change up there on the signal there from the umpire. Here's the pitch coming from Graham. Fastball outside and high for ball 2. Even counted 2-2. Throw back to Graham. Kind of sails out to shortstop as Socorros has got to pick it up for the Eagles. Listening live to Hobbs Eagle Playout Baseball on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Game 2 of the best of 3 series. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Graham. Late swing and outside. Swing and a miss, and that'll sit down Aragon for out number 3. So a throw down to get 1 of the outs, 2 strikeouts, and that's all she wrote for Las Cruces. No hits, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. Your Eagles up over the Bulldogs, 2-0 here at Sportsman's Park. We'll come back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your Hobbs Eagles leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the second, live at Sportsman's Park. Ty Friend here with you. It's the second game of the best-of-3 series, Hobbs and Las Cruces 5A playoffs. Winner will play the winner of Organ Mountain and Los Lunas. Morgan Mountain leads that series 1-0. They won last night 7-3. That game was 2-2 until the bottom of the third. Organ Mountain got 5 runs in the third and got a 7-2 lead. Los Lunas added one more run in the sixth, but not enough. Organ Mountain with 6 hits in that game, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Los Lunas had 6 hits, 12 strikeouts, and 1 walk. 3 other hits for Los Lunas was Fabian Trujillo. He was a sophomore, had a triple, and 2 other batters got doubles for Los Lunas in the losing cause. Of course, the Eagles have beat Los Lunas twice, have yet to play Organ Mountain this season, coming out of the same district as Las Cruces High. Hawkins returns as the pitcher for Las Cruces with a curveball inside for the ball. And at the plate for your Hobbs Eagles, last in the order, Kenyon Singleton, the catcher. Kenyon batting .209 this season with 13 hits. Curveball inside is going to bloop out to left field, taking a couple of bounces, and a single for Kenyon Singleton. So he gets on base, the first hit of the game for the Eagles. Singleton last night was 0 for 1, struck out and was hit by a ball, but he likes to get those hits when he can. And there's the courtesy runner checking in for the Eagles, Isaiah Montez. So second courtesy runner the Eagles have used in this game. Starting the order now, Bernie Sikoris walked back in the first with a steal and a run. Hobbs up 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. Slated for 7 in this game, the playoffs. Hawkins going to throw it to first, and back in time quickly is Singleton. Saw a lot of throws to the bases in yesterday's game. Not as many in this one as a sophomore on the mound for Las Cruces. The lefty still back up, Sikoris. Showing bunt, throwing it inside. It's a blooper right back to the pitcher. Hawkins chased it up and throws it over to first off the 1-2-3 as he tosses it over to Perez for the out. And I'm not sure if that was the bunt that Sikoris was looking for. I don't even think he knew he got contact on that one and said, I've got to run this one out anyway, and unfortunately the outs. So 1 down for the Eagles. Still leading 2-0. Both teams with 1 hit now, a single for Singleton. And Valenzuela with the single for Las Cruces. Hawkins takes a few peeks back at second, turns and fires a fastball outside. Having to slide over quickly as Valenzuela to save that from going wild. So he knows it's Singleton, or actually the courtesy runner, Isaiah Montez there. Love to get home if he can. 1 ball and no strikes. Shortstop is trying to play that second base and get in the head of Montez. Fastball outside. Count now to 1-1. One ball and 1 strike for Eric McNabb. He's second in the order for the Eagles, 0 for 1 so far. Flew out to right field on his first at bat. Takes a curveball low for ball 2. Of course, McNabb, big night yesterday, was 3 for 3. That RBI triple, another RBI single as well, and scored 3 runs for the Eagles in the 5-2 win. Jumping off the rubber and bouncing back behind the mound was Hawkins, and decided on the hippity hop was not going to throw it. His shortstop didn't get there to cover the second base. Second baseman shifted way over past halfway towards first. Fastball low, swing and a miss over the top by McNabb, and picks up his second strike on a 2-2 count now. Kind of hopping over the home plate that time, lost his footing just a bit. Outside pitch from Hawkins. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Eric McNabb, center fielder for the Eagles. Shortstop running in front of the runner that time. Curveball inside, a golf swing, and that'll be strike 3 for McNabb. Going to be the second K for the Eagles in this game, and the second out here in the bottom of the second. Colton Graham now will step up, third in the order for the Eagles. He walked back in the first inning. Runner at second still for the Eagles. Isaiah Montez, a courtesy runner. 2 down, though, for Hobbs. Fastball right down the pike for the strike. As Graham returns to the box. 2 pitchers battling each other here. Hawkins now with an 0-1. Curveball inside. It bounces off the plate. Might have got a piece of the bat of Graham as well. So that'll be tracked down for the Eagles by Edwin Perez. He's going to be coming up here momentarily. Fourth in the order, the cleanup man for Hobbs. Got the RBI sack earlier in the first inning. 2-0 lead for Hobbs with 2 down. Here in the bottom of the second, curveball. Going to bounce off the plate again. That's going to send Isaiah Perez to third on the wild pitch. Was tracked down by Valenzuela, but the throw late to third. The Eagles now are knocking at the door to try to add on to a 2-0 lead. Again, the winner, if Hobbs is the winner of this one, they will advance to the quarterfinals. The 1-2 pitch now from Hawkins. Fastball low and outside for ball 2. And you can see Valenzuela getting eager to scoop and throw. So he does not want to see Montez to come home and put another run on the board. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Graham. Edwin Perez, we mentioned, the cleanup man next. Hawkins keeps looking back at second. Nobody's on that base. Curveball almost hitting Graham. He's got to jump out of the way. He's already hit 1 batter so far for the Eagles, and that was Alderete that got one right between the numbers in his back. And you could hear the thud up here in the crowd. Full count now to Graham. Comment coming out from the crowd gets Graham to look back at the audience here behind home plate. Here's the full count pitch. Fastball. Gets a piece of it out towards right field. Got some air towards the wall. It's going to bounce off the wall. That'll be an RBI double unless he gets another base out of it. And that's where he'll end up. The RBI double for Colton Graham. As he will score Kenyon Singleton. Actually, that was Isaiah Montez, a courtesy runner for Singleton. So both courtesy runners have scored runs in this game. Wait a second. The umpire calls the we got a courtesy runner coming in on that play. I thought they were calling him back on that one. No, it's a double. RBI double will stand. And Saul's going to return Armendariz. We saw him in the first inning. So score's going to go to 3-0. Again, that was Montez that scored the run. Fastball coming down the pike. Taking a strike is Edwin Perez. He got the RBI sack back in the first. So Eagles have scored 1 run here in the second, 2 in the first to lead 3-0. Hawkins peaks at second with the courtesy runner. That's Armendariz. Fastball. Woo, low pitch outside. They're going to call that a strike. And the count goes to 0-2. Had to pull a shovel out for that one. Hawkins still worried about the runner at second. Turns and fires the curveball over the top of the helmet of Perez. Almost took off his head that time. And the count with the first ball, 1-2. Perez fourth in the order. Alderete, Bird, and Kirkendall due up next. But there are 2 outs to deal with here. Here comes the sophomore Hawkins. Fastball off the hand. Are going to go foul outside the first baseline out to right field in foul territory. Going to roll to the wall anyway. So that's going to send Armendariz back to second. Birds are flying through the field here. Some nice white pigeons. Sign of peace. Eagles don't want any peace. They're up 3-0. Want to punch their ticket to the quarterfinals on Thursday. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball down the pike, and that's a watch by Perez. Going to take strike 3 on that one. 3 Ks now for Hawkins. Eagles do manage 2 hits. They leave some on the base, but they do bring 1 across to lead 3-0. We'll head to the top of the third live at Sportsman's Park. Game 2 of the best-of-3 series live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. We've made it to the third inning here at Sportsman's Park. Ty Friend here with you live as the Hobbs Eagles lead 3-0 over Las Cruces. Game 2 of the best-of-3 series. Hobbs just a few innings away of punching that ticket to Albuquerque to play at UNM on Thursday. That game would be at 10 o'clock, just a one-game situation for the quarterfinals. As they'll take on either Organ Mountain, the number 4 seed, or number 13, Los Lunas. Again, Organ Mountain up in that series 1-0 after a win yesterday, 7-3. They are playing as we speak. We'll try to get a score update on that one as soon as we can. So far on the mound, the starter Colton Graham, only given up 1 hit, has struck out 2 and given up 1 walk. Graham working on his 7th win of the season. That would match the numbers for Zach McPeters, who won his 7th yesterday in the 5-2 win over Las Cruces. Fastball outside, pitch to Connor Radke for the ball. Radke, yesterday in terms of hitting, was 0 for 3, so no hitting there. Curveball inside, gets a good yank on this one, going out towards left field to the wall, and over the shoulder of the Eagles' Kirkendall, the left fielder. Is going to be a double for Radke. So second hit of the game for Las Cruces. Radke did not have the best numbers coming into the series, just 160 overall, but that is his 10th hit after he converts on that one. So the runner at second is Radke. Bottom of the order now, Lucas Hernandez, the right fielder. He comes in with a .226 batting average on 12 hits, 3 RBIs, a double, and a triple. Hernandez 0 for 2 in yesterday's game, a fielder's choice and a ground out. Did get a stolen base. He was subbed by Cepeda later in the ball game. So Hernandez bottom of the order. This would wrap up their first 9 batters for Las Cruces. They trail 3-0 here in the top of the third, and now a timeout called as Radke finally gets his leg brace off and gives it over to Coach. He's going to take it off the field. Took a little bit of time to take care of that. Hernandez, the right fielder for the Bulldogs. Pitch from Graham, a fastball. Half swing there for Hernandez. He'll take the strike on that one. Count goes to 0-1. Graham checking his left wristband now and getting himself all situated on the rubber. Takes a peek back at second to see what the progress of Radke is. Turns and fires a curveball and slides off the handle out towards the Las Cruces dugout on the right side on foul territory. So now the count is 0-2 for Hernandez. No outs here in the top of the third. We are slated for 7 here in game 2. A little more of a delay here for Colton Graham. Curveball way outside. It's dropped third strike, but the throw down to first will be in time, and that will sit down Hernandez. 3 Ks here for Colton Graham. And now the top of the order for the Las Cruces Bulldogs, who trail 3-0. Cam Valenzuela, who got the first hit of the game to start it off for Las Cruces. He came in to this contest at a .246 batting average. Now has 20 hits, 12 RBIs, 2 doubles. He does have a runner at second. Curveball inside, golf swing out towards shallow right. It will bounce down the first base line, will be a single. Runner at second took a long time to take off, and he's finally getting to third. So the single for Valenzuela, his second of the ball game. 3 hits now for Las Cruces. Runners at first and third with 1 out, so knocking to the door of the Bulldogs. They'll get a courtesy runner in for Las Cruces High. And that'll be Ronga, the sophomore. First courtesy runner they've used in this game. Runner at first and third, as we mentioned. Ryan Padilla, the second baseman, ground out to third back in the first inning. Padilla getting a single yesterday, did score a run, went 1 for 3. Time called as he steps out of the box. Look over to Coach Padilla at the third base coach's box. Back in now. Ready to take a pitch from Colton Graham. Graham's given up 3 hits so far, 3 strikeouts, though, and 1 walk. Pitch from Graham, fastball, cracked out towards center field, and backpedaling for the Eagles is McNabb. It's going to hit the big wall off to the right. That's going to score at least 1 run, possibly 2. Graham gets the bounce and chucks it into his shortstop Sikoras. Only 1 run comes across on the RBI double for Padilla. And that will score Radke. It's now 3-1. Eagles still up by 2 runs, but 1 down here in the top of the third. So 4 hits now for the Bulldogs. Runners at second and third off the RBI double from Padilla. Back-to-back hits, though, for Las Cruces, and now it's Steve Salarizano, not the guy you want to see right now. Big slugger for him. He did ground out to short over to Sikoras back in the first. Salarizano went 2 for 2 with that home run yesterday and a double. So some big hits for him. Graham's going to throw the curveball, whacks it off the handle, and barely foul on that first base line as their first base coach trying to sell the ump on that one, not going to get it. off the lobby call there. That was foul from the start. And no curve back potential on that one. So foul ball in the first, 0 for 1 now for Solorzano. He leads the team with 33 RBIs, so we got to be careful with him. The NMSU commit. He's got runners at second and third with just 1 out. 3-1 ball game, Eagles by 2. Here's the pitch from Graham. Curveball, another knuckler. This was going to go into the middle of the backstop for the foul ball. So an 0-2 count now to Solorzano. Kind of shaking his head at this point. Would like to have that one back to try to straighten out the bat just a bit. Trying to keep this thing in play here. Expect to see some junk here from Colton Graham. Here's the 0-2. Curve it inside. High pitch. Swing and a miss, and that will sit down Solorzano. He spun around, looked back at the up to see if the ball was in the glove or not, and it was. And he'll be K'd out. The 4th K issued by Colton Graham. A big one there for one of their big sluggers. Out number 2 for the Eagles. And that'll bring up the cleanup man, Zakai Hawkins, a starting pitcher, flew out to left for the last out of the first inning. Graham taking a peek over to the dugout as Coach Boyle and staff talking to him out there. Curveball, check swing off the middle of the bat, going to go to the right backstop. Bounces off the netting for the foul. Hawkins 4th in the order. Lopez and Escandon would be up next, but they do have 2 outs to deal with. Still a 3-1 ball game in favor of Hobbs. They were up 3-0 through 2 innings. Curveball inside, whacked out the third base line. It's fair. That's going to bring home 1 run, make it 2 now. A 2 RBI double deep to the left corner. Chasing it down is Kirkendall as a 2-run score. 2 RBI double for Hawkins. And that will score both Valenzuela and Padilla. And the game is tied up at 3, just like that. And there's 2 outs in the game as well. Courtesy runner is going to head out for Las Cruces. And that is Perez, the senior. So actually, Ronga was one of the runs that scored off the courtesy runner. And that will keep Hawkins at second after the 2 RBI double. 5 hits now for Las Cruces and 2 for the Eagles. And a 3-3 ball game. Big man Adrian Lopez now the DH, walked back in the second. Graham's going to take a little delay here to look to the dugout. Two down for the Eagles defense. Fastball low. Late swing for Lopez. Gets a piece of it, but sails it to the middle netting behind home plate. 3-3 ball game here in the top of the 3rd inning. Game 2 of the best-of-3 series. Graham again staring over to the dugout, checking his play calls there on his left wrist. Coach Bowman, of course, the pitching coach for the Eagles. Here's the 0-1 pitch, curveball, and off the bat again, it drops foul behind the home plate right side and scooped up quickly by Singleton, the catcher, and thought about throwing it to third, but the runner way back at second, not going to even try to come up in front of Major Bird. So 0-2 now. Adrian Lopez on the line here. He's got to protect the plate. Still has a runner at second with 2 downs. Graham looks back at second, turns and fires a curveball, and lifted out towards right, shallow. A one-hand catch brought down by McPeters for out number 3. Boy, he was shifted way over to the left side that time to make the catch. Got down near one knee and made it for out number 3. So the fly out to right center field, and that will be the 3rd out. But 3 runs, or make it 4 hits actually for Las Cruces. They score 3 runs. And now tied up at 3-3 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. The Hobbs offense will step up to the plate. You'll come back with us in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. The Las Cruces Bulldogs get all 3 runs back in here as we are in the third inning, top of the third with the 3 runs and tied up at 3 apiece. Hobbs and Las Cruces in the 5A state playoffs, game 2 of the best-of-3 series here at Sportsman's Park. Ty Friend here with you. I'd like to thank our sponsors of Hobbs Eagle Playoff Baseball. We got a bunch of them: IPS, Lasco Construction, Hobbs Rental, XL Energy, Eunice Pump and Supply, TDS, Divine Energy Services, Thriftway and Latina Groceries, and R360. Eagles offense at the plate. Marcus Alderetti, 5th in the order. He was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. That was the inning that the Eagles saw 8 batters hit the plate. Hobbs definitely got to get the offense going now with a tie ball game. Still on the mound for Las Cruces, the sophomore Zakai Hawkins. Fastball. Knuckler is going to be fouled off towards the Hobbs Eagle dugout on the left side for the foul. Alderetti gets himself reset. He's got a 39% on-base percentage this season. Fastball down the middle for the strike. Count goes to 0-2 now for Alderetti. Bird, Kirkendall, McPeters, and Singleton, 6th through 9th in the order for the Eagles. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Hawkins. Curveball, and it goes low and inside for ball 1. Looked like it was going to hit him in the back there, but he stood solid ground left to the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Alderetti. Hawkins going to fire a fastball, yanked out towards left field, and it should be an easy catch, and it is, right in the middle of the chest by Escondon, the left fielder, for out number 1. Major Bird will step in now, 7th in the order, make it 6th. The third baseman, he walked back in the first. Eagles picked up 3 walks in the first inning. Major Bird steps into the box now. The pitch coming from Hawkins. Curveball, and pressing him back just a bit for the ball. Oh, no, they're going to say it hit him. Hit his inside leg. That's going to take him off to first on the freebie there. Second hit by a pitch, Bird, and also Alderetti earlier. So the runner at first, and that brings in Easton Kirkendall, who walked back in the first and also caused a run to score for the Eagles on the RBI. The bases were loaded. Definitely something you want to see. Get it the easy way. But also doing a good job of watching pitches as well. Fastball outside, check swing for Kirkendall, going to sail it foul over the Las Cruces dugout on the right side. Still a 3-3 ball game. All 3 runs coming for Las Cruces, top of the third. Eagles got 2 in the first and 1 in the second. Trying to get some runs here in the bottom of the third. Here's the windup of the throw from Hawkins. Fastball slapped out towards shot, scooped and bobbled by Solorzano. Lost the ball, tried to flick it to second, but not in time. That was a pretty hard shot. Got to go down with the single on that one. Solorzano still hunched down on the ground. He got hurt. I don't know if he got hurt on the throw or as it hit him, but that will be a single for Kirkendall and the third hit for the Eagles in this contest. And the ump's going to go back to help him out behind second right now. A couple of umps heading out there. So Eagles now will have runners at first and second. And a time called here to see what's up with Solorzano. He's hunched over at this point. I think he might have got hit in a bad position, and he's trying to shake it off at this point. And I'm not sure exactly where the injury was, but judging by how he's hunched over, I think you can take your guess on that one. We'll take a break, 30 seconds, and be back. It's 3-3 here in the bottom of the third. Your Eagles and the Las Cruces Bulldogs live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. We're back live here at Sportsman's Park. Hobbs Eagle Playoff Baseball, 3-3 with Las Cruces. Game 2 of the best-of-3 series. Had an injury timeout for their shortstop, Solorzano. And now Zach McPeters steps in. Takes the first fastball outside, but it clips the corner for the strike. McPeters, the right fielder, struck out for the last out of the first inning. Eagles had 8 batters step up in that inning. Hobbs with 1 down, runner at first and second. Curveball, low, swing and a miss for McPeters for 0-2 count now. 3-3 ball game. Hobbs trying to break the tie. Singleton would be 9th in the order. He had a single back in the second. Still on the mound is Zakai. Wind up in the throw. Fastball cracked out towards short to Solorzano. This time he'll make the throw to second. Looking for the double play, but the throw is going to be late. Off the throw coming from Padilla. Fielder's choice for McPeters. He'll get to stay at first, but that's going to send home one man to the dugout for Hobbs. Off the throw from Solorzano to Padilla at second. So 2 down for the Eagles, but they have runners now at first and third, so knocking at the door. Kenyon Singleton now 9th in the order. He's got a single and a run scored so far for Hobbs. Singleton with 18 RBIs this season. So he definitely wants to be another one added to his numbers there. He's got Bird at third. Try to break that 3-3 tie. Curveball inside, low for ball 1. Singleton shuffling around a little bit here as he gets ready to come back in the box. 1 ball and no strikes to him. Sikoris, McNabb, and Graham top of the order. 1-0 pitch, curve inside. One-handed scoop at third by Rakji. Throws it across, it bounces in front of the first bag and rolls out foul. But they're going to keep the runners moving. That's going to score a run for the Eagles, and all the way to third goes Singleton on an air throw in the infield, which bounced right in front of the left corner of the first base bag. Perfect opportunity for the Eagles to score on that one, as that will put Bird through home. And Hobbs takes a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the third. That's a major mistake for Las Cruces off the errant throw by Ratschke. And now it's the top of the order for Sikoris. He is 0 for 1. He ground out to first, but also started the game with a walk, got a steal, and a run scored. Hobbs at the runner at third. Curve inside, the hit out to shortstop, Solorzano, and nails a throw to first to get over to Perez to get out number 3 on the ground out by Sikoris. But the Hobbs Eagles do manage 1 hit. They leave 1 on base. 1 run comes across. That was Major Bird. Actually, 2 runs come across. That will be 5-3 your score. Hobbs up by 2 as we head to the top of the 4th. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Baseball on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Hobbs Eagles up 5-3. 2 runs did score. Major Bird and also Zach McPeters off the errant throw in the infield. Actually went up the arm of the first baseman off the throw from Ratschke. Perez tried to get it down, hit the field turf, then went up his arm and then went out towards the Las Cruces dugout on the right side of the field. So plenty of time for 2 runs to score. 5-3 is the score. A 2-run lead here at the top of the 4th now. Las Cruces at the plate. And that'll bring up MJ Escondon, the left fielder. He struck out back in the 2nd. Colton Graham, the starter, still on the mound for the Eagles, has 4 Ks so far and has given up 5 hits. We head past the halfway mark of this second game of the best-of-3 series. Escondon, a left fielder, takes the first fastball outside, but it clips the corner for the strike. Next pitch inside, swing and a miss, and spinning around is Escondon, not getting his footing the way he wanted it. And now Coach Padilla trying to get his attention here to give him some more signals on this one. 0-2 count now to Escondon. Here comes Graham with a quick reload. Curveball off the end of the bat towards the Las Cruces dugout. Pinball action almost takes off a couple of heads of the guys in the dugout. And on the right side. Staying alive, though, is Escondon with an 0-2 count. Trying to get his first hit in 2 games here. Has yet to get one off an 0-3 start last night. Here's the 0-2. Fastball whacked out to short to Sikoris with a one-hand scoop. Throws it across the field. A low one, but dug out by Alderetti for out number 2. Or should I say out number 1 here in the top of the 4th. Angel Aragon now, the 7th in the order for Las Cruces. He was the 3rd and final out of the 2nd inning off a strikeout. He's working on his first hit in 2 games as well. Was 0 for 2 last night. 2 grounders to second to Sikoris, who was over at second in that game. Takes the first pitch on a fastball on the strike as Aragon watched it. He is 7th in the order. The windup and the throw now from Graham. Fastball outside for ball 1. Count now at 1-1. Here comes a 1-1 pitch from Graham. Curveball. Ooh, that looked a perfect pitch that time. They're going to say a little low, I guess, for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Aragon. Ratke and Hernandez, 8th and 9th in the order for Las Cruces. Here's the 2-1. Fastball outside, and Aragon, half-hearted swing at that one, does not make contact for strike 2. 5-3 ball game here in the top of the 4th. A 2-run Eagle lead. Winner of this series punches their ticket to the quarterfinals in Albuquerque. Curveball inside and going to be just barely foul on that third baseline. Too much of a curve on that one. I'm sure Kirkendall breathing a sigh of relief out there in left field. He was shifted over quite a bit more to the right towards the light pole in the left field. Evens up the count at 2-2. Here comes the pitch from Graham. Fastball cracked right through Graham. Able to scoop it up on the top of the mound and flicks it over to Alderetti. You had to think that was going to go through the mountain that time, but he was able just to put the glove down and scoop it out. The only dirt on the field. And so that will be the ground out for Aragon for out number 2. Nonchalant play there by Colton Graham. He really didn't have much help at second base. He had his shortstop moved over, Sikoris, and to the right was Armendariz. So 2 down now for the Eagle defense. Fastball down the middle, check swing for Ratchkin, keeps it in play over to first. Alderetti's going to have to get some help, though, as covering the bases, Colton Graham for out number 3. Nice job to coverage there for Graham. So 3 up and 3 down, all on ground outs for Las Cruces. That's not a way you get back in a ball game. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Your Eagles holding on to a 2-run lead, 5-3 over Las Cruces. We'll take a 60-second break and come back on HobbsAmerica.com. Two-run lead for your Hobbs Eagles here in the bottom of the 4th. It's 5-3. This is the playoffs, 5A playoffs on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube, brought by some major big-time sponsors. And we've had them from the day on, from yesterday until today, and hopefully into the quarterfinals, which we look like we have a good shot at that. IPS, Lasco Construction, Hobbs Rental, XL Energy, Divine Energy Services, R360, Thriftway, and La Tienda Grocery. And if I read it too fast, you can check it out on the YouTube because we got the banner there on the screen for you. 5-3 Eagle lead. Bottom of the 4th, a fastball coming hard from Hawkins to Eric McNabb. Swing and a miss for the strike. Hawkins so far staying in the ball game as the starter. McNabb 0 for 2, flew to right, and a strikeout so far. Hobbs with 3 hits at this point. Fastball outside, good eye for McNabb for ball 1. RBI double for Graham earlier. Also a single for Kirkendall and a single for Singleton. 1 ball and 1 strike to wind up in the throw from Hawkins. Fastball out to center field. Will stay on a roll and be a single for Eric McNabb. Picking up where he left off last night with that 3-for-3 outing. And that'll be hit number 4 for the Eagles. Hit count is 5-4 now in favor of Las Cruces, but the Eagles, of course, have the 5-3 lead. Kind of the same situation last night. Hobbs winning the game 5-2, but we're out hit 7-6. Not much of a differential, though. Colton Graham, who is 1 for 1, an RBI double and a walk, been on base both times. The throw to first, not in time, sliding back is McNabb. No outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The Eagles trying to add on to a 2-run lead, 5-3 the score. Hawkins going to throw it there again, and back in time again is McNabb. Still waiting for a pitch is Graham. Hawkins says this time, I think I'm going to throw it. A couple of head nods. Fastball high for ball 1. Eagles going through their 3rd order now. 3 batters in with Colton Graham at the plate. Perez, the cleanup man, due up next. He had an RBI sack earlier. Hawkins shaking his head yes about 5 times here. Now going to turn and fire the fastball. It's put out towards center field, high up in the air. And the center fielder will have to backpedal just a bit, Aragon, to make the catch. So that'll be out number 1 for the Eagles. To center field for Colton Graham. Got to bring up 4th in the order. There's cleanup man, Edwin Perez. He had a sack RBI and also struck out. 1 down for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 4th. 5-3 lead. The runner at first, still McNabb. Hawkins going to turn and fire a fastball. This one's going out to left center field. Lower. It's going to take a bounce, and it'll be a single. And that'll be the runner advancing to 3rd for Las Cruces. They'll just keep it out there on the relay over to short. So Edmund Perez getting his first hit, and now 5 hits for the Eagles. 4 of those singles and a double from Graham. And runners at 1st and 3rd. Marcus Alderetti going to step in now. He's 5th in the order. He's the first baseman. Was hit by a pitch to start the game in the 1st inning and flew to left in the 4th, or in the 3rd. Eagles have scored 2 runs in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, and 2 in the 3rd for their 5. 3 runs for Las Cruces in the 3rd. Hawkins does a pirouette off the mound and then turns and throws a ball to 2nd and then puts his arms up in the air to the umpire, wanting to see if maybe somebody missed the base at 2nd when they came around. And, of course, right now, talking about Eric McNabb, who's at 3rd, but ump says nope, everybody touched base fine. So Alderetti waiting for the pitch, gets one inside, clips it down the 3rd baseline. It'll be fair, and that'll be an RBI single and maybe a double as it's going to continue to roll to the left corner of the field. 2 runs are going to score, but they're going to have to dive in for it, and they do get it. As both coming across, Eric McNabb and a very risky Edwin Perez. Coach Boyle decided to send him, and he just barely got there in time. The throw going off to the right of the home plate. So a 2 RBI double for Marcus Alderetti. Scoring again, McNabb and Perez. Eagles going to add 2 to the scoreboard to make it 7-3. Some nice insurance runs there. Major Bird will step in next. Takes a fastball down the middle for the strike on the first pitch. He walked back in the 1st and also was hit by a ball and eventually scored a run for the Eagles. 2 runs have come across here in the 4th, a 7-3 lead. Runner at 2nd, curveball inside, a knuckler going to dribble out to the pitcher. Hawkins turns and fires. A low throw over to Perez for the out. Able to dig it out was Perez for out number 2. That'll bring in Easton Kirkendall now. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Walked in the 1st inning, which also scored a run that got him an RBI. 4-run lead for the Eagles here in the 4th. McPeters and Singleton, 8th and 9th in the order, due up next. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Playoff Baseball on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Fastball, low and outside for ball 1. Quarterfinals will be Thursday at 10 o'clock at the UNM Lobo Field next to the pit. Oregon Mountain or Los Lunas playing today to see who's going to be that team. Curveball inside, gets past the glove of Valenzuela, And that'll send the runner to third, Marcus Alderetti. You'd like to get the 8th run of the ball game if you can. Having a little discussion now with Coach Boyle. As he steps back in the box, and Hawkins trying to shut down the Eagles here with the 2 outs. But a 4-run lead. Turns and fires a curveball and getting away from the shoulder of Kirkendall as he spins out of it for the ball. Count goes to 3-0 now to Easton. 3 balls and no strikes. Here comes a pitch from Hawkins. Low fastball for ball 4. So 2 walks have been picked up by Kirkendall in this game. And that is the 5th overall given up to the Eagles on freebies, including 2 hit by pitches, so make it 6 freebies. Zach McPeters now, he's got on due to a fielder's choice earlier, scored a run after that, and struck out at his first at bat in the first inning. 2 outs for the Eagles, runners at first and third. Peters 8th in the order. Fastball high, swing and a miss for McPeters for the strike. This is game 2 of the best of 3 series. Mentioned Oregon Mountain playing Los Lunas at the same time here in Las Cruces. We'll try to get a score update on that one. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curveball up by shoulder high. The steal on the way. Throw to second in time, but bounces off the knee of Solorzano, the shortstop, who was covering in front of second base. So the steal converted. So Kirkendall getting to second. And runners now at second and third. 1 ball and 1 strike to McPeters. With 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. 7-3 lead for the Eagles. Fastball, hard hit out towards left field. Is this going foul? It looks like it barely is outside the pole there in deep left field, and just an ounce away from bouncing off that board and getting a couple runs to score. That would have been at least a double, and would have scored 2 runs for sure. Almost had a chance to go over the wall as well. Good yank there by McPeters. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Zach. Kenyon Singleton up next, 9th in the order. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball outside the plate. It bounces off the catcher and hits part of the bat, too. Would have been a called third strike, and looks like the out at first. And looked like the first baseman tripped on the bag, and Perez was not a happy camper. He turned to look back at McPeters, and like McPeters did something wrong. I don't know what the heck he would have thought he did wrong. He ran right across the base. That will be out number 3. As the Eagles manage 3 hits, they get 2 runners across the base, or home plate, I should say, for a 4-run lead, 7-3 over Las Cruces. We'll take a 60-second break and come back on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Back here at Sportsman's Park, Ty Friend here with you live, HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Playoff baseball on the internet. Hobbs up 7-3 here in the top of the 5th. Las Cruces at the plate. They have a total of 5 hits in this ball game. Hobbs now with 7, or correction 6. Colton Graham, the starter, and continues to pitch against the Bulldogs. Fastball outside for ball 1. Lucas Hernandez last in the order for the Dogs. Has a strikeout back in the 2nd. A total of 4 Ks so far for Colton Graham on the mound for the Eagles, working on his 7th win of the season. Here's a 1-0 pitch, fastball off the middle of the bat and going foul right behind home plate over to the JV side. They do have a Texas playoff game over here. I know Kermit is involved in that one, Kermit, Texas. Of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles winning last night in their softball playoff game. Going on to the next round, quarterfinals. Fastball down the middle, same spot, foul over the top of the backstop, out of play again for Hernandez. Las Cruces getting ready for their third order of batters here. Cam Valenzuela, Padilla, and Solorzano. 1-2 count now to Hernandez. Curve it inside, a low pitch over the top is Hernandez. Drop third strike and a throw down to first from Singleton for out number 1. So Hernandez striking out twice so far. Top of the order now, Cam Valenzuela. He is 2 for 2. One of the consistent ones for Las Cruces. Both singles and a run scored. Quick pitch coming and a knockout towards right center. That'll roll and take a single for Valenzuela. He's had 3 hits in this ball game now. So he is 3 for 3 on the afternoon. Has a runner now for Las Cruces. They do trail 7-3 to your Eagles as Ryan Padilla checks in. He is 1 for 2. Has an RBI double, a run, and ground out to third in his 2 at-bats. One down for Las Cruces. Graham going to take a little bit more time and get the call he wants from Singleton behind the plate. Here's the windup on the throw. Fastball outside and low for ball 1. Padilla second in the order. Solorzano and Hawkins up next. Solorzano yet to get a hit in this game. He's usually one of their potent hitters. 1-0 pitch from Graham. Fastball off the end of the bat, out to second. Diving catch. No, it gets out of the glove of Armendariz, but he turns and fires to second as picking up the bag for him was Sakaras from short. Nice combination there. Helping out his teammate was Sakaras that time, and good opportunity to make a catch. Got hunched over, did Armendariz, got down low to the ground and thought he had the snag there, but kind of somersaulted for a second or a half somersault. Able to pull up and make the throw to second. So whatever the way you get the job done, you'll take it. That's out number 2. Runner still at first for Las Cruces. Now at the plate is Steve Solorzano, 0 for 2 so far. A ground to short and a strikeout. Curveball inside, gets a piece of it, and sails over the right netting behind home plate on foul territory. Cruces facing 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. They've got just 2 more innings after this one to try to get back in the contest, down by 4. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curveball, helmet high, almost took off the head of Solorzano. Nice save there by Singleton to jump behind him to make the catch on the pitch. Keeps the runner at first. 1-1 count now to Solorzano. NMSU commit. Just a junior, though. Curveball, swing and a miss for Solorzano, and they fake the throw back to first, and they would have made the throw. They would have easily had the tag out. Hobbs fans wanting to see the throw by Singleton that time, but he held on to it. Runner way off base for Las Cruces. That's Valenzuela. He's the catcher. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Solorzano. Eagles up 7-3 here in the top of the 5th. 2-1, 2-2, the runs that the Eagles have had so far. Curveball, yanked out towards left. This will drop for a single off a 1 bouncer as fielding it is Kirkendall and gets it into Sakaras, the shortstop, on the relay. So a single for Solorzano, his first hit of the ball game. 6 hits now for Las Cruces, evening up the hits in the ball game. Actually, correction, 7 now. They take the 1-hit lead, and not this runs, though, 7-3 in favor of the Eagles. That's the exact total we had last night, 7-6 for the game. In terms of the hits, we still got a lot more baseball left in this one here in the top of the 5th. Kai Hawkins, the pitcher for Las Cruces, in now. He's 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI double. Also flew out to left field back in the first inning for the last out. 2 outs, though, for Las Cruces. They got runners at first and second. Graham with the windup in the throw. Fastball. This is going to be a dribbler over to Sakaras at short. Turns and fires at third, and Bird had to jump high for it. Was able to get his foot down for the third and final out. Good decision there to stop any more advancement of the runners. So out number 3. Las Cruces getting 2 hits. No runs come across. They leave 2 on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Their Eagles up 7-3 over the Bulldogs. Back at 60 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Back here at Sportsman's Park, Ty Friend here with you live. The Hobbs Eagles lead 7-3 over Las Cruces. Game 2 of the best-of-3 series 5A playoffs on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Thanks to our sponsors, IPS, Lasco Construction, Hobbs Rental, XL Energy, Divine Energy Services, Eunice Pump and Supply, Thriftway and La Tienda Groceries, TDS, and R360. 4-run lead for your Eagles. They win this game. They are in the quarterfinals Thursday. That'll be a 10 o'clock start at UNM Lobo Field in Albuquerque. That'll just be a one-game situation throughout the rest of the playoffs after this 3-game series is complete. Eagles scoring 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. Las Cruces, all 3 of their runs in the third. Eagles at the plate. Kenyon Singleton, 9th in the order for Hobbs. He is 1 of 2, had a single to start it off in the second and a run, and also got on due to an error. There's only been 1 error in the game for Las Cruces' defense. Their starting pitcher still on the mound, Zakai Hawkins. Curveball inside, hit high in the air, foul territory on the first baseline, and then going over towards the dugout, a hand over the railing to make the catch for the out for Las Cruces in foul territory. And I believe that was the first baseman that finally got over there, Perez. Actually, that was, it was Perez, the senior first baseman, for out number 1 on the fly. Top of the order, Bernie Sikoris. He is 0 for 2, ground out to first and short, and also had a walk to start the game, stolen base, and a run scored. Bottom of the 5th inning, 7-3. Curveball inside, and this is going to roll out towards first. One-handed by Perez, and makes a stomp on the bag for his second out in a row. Off the grounder by Sikoris. He cannot keep it away from that first base. 2 of them have gone out to Perez. So out number 2 for the Eagles. Eric McNabb in now. He's 1 for 3. His first hit coming off his 3rd at bat. Got the single, flew to right and struck out. Did score a run after that single. 4-run lead for the Eagles. We'd love to add on to that one right now. 7 hits for Las Cruces, 6 for Hobbs. Here's the windup in the throw. Curve inside for Hawkins. Just low for ball 1. Eagles have had a couple of doubles in this game. Already had a 2 RBI double and a RBI double for Colton Graham. Everybody else has gotten singles. Here's the 1-0 fastball. Swing and a miss for McNabb. Count goes to 1-1. 2 outs for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 5th. 7-3 score. Hawkins going to take some time now. The windup and the throw. Fastball slapped out towards third. It gets through the gap out to left field and will be a single for McNabb. 2 singles in a row for Eric. So Hobbs is going to even up the hit count now at 7 apiece for both teams. Colton Graham, 3rd in the order. He is 1 of 2 with an RBI double, a walk, and flew to center. So he's been on base 2 of the 3 times he's been at the plate. Graham with 27 RBIs heading into the game and has one today for 28. The throw to first not in time is getting back his McNabb. Hawkins keeps looking back at first to check the runner. Turns and fires a fastball low and outside for ball 2. And a quick throw down to first. Not in time from Valenzuela. A little low shot there. Bounce in front of the bag, but scooped up by Perez. Perez getting a lot of work in this game at first base. Count to 1-1 with 2 down for the Eagles. Leading by 4. Fastball, high one. Swing over the top by Graham for strike 2. Count goes to 1-2. Graham with a 48% on-base percentage this season. One of the better ones on the team for the Eagles. Umpire's little joke for him after he swung around a little bit there, and count goes to 1-2. I'm going to switch it to 1-1 now. Fastball outside. The steal is on. The throw in time. The tag is right on the right side of the second base, and the Eagles get the 3rd out on that one. So risky call there as McNabb is tagged out at second for out number 3. Eagles get a single. Tag out at second leaves nobody on the bases. No runs come across. We head to the top of the 6th. Coach Boyle is out on the field and having a discussion with the umpire, at least trying to get him over there as he's talking to McNabb. We will go to the top of the 6th. It's 7-3. Your Eagles up by 4. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle Baseball on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Hobbs Eagles holding on to a 7-3 lead here at Sportsman's Park. Game 2 of the Best of 3 series, the playoffs on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. The playoffs brought to you by IPS, Lasco Construction, Hobbs Rental, Divine Energy Services, XL Energy, TDS, Thriftway and La Tienda Groceries, Eunice Pump and Supply, and R360. Las Cruces at the plate. Adrian Lopez, the 5th in the order. 0 for 1, flew to right center, and also walked. 7 hits so far for Las Cruces, 3 of those from Cam Valenzuela, and 1 apiece for Padilla, Solorzano, Hawkins, and Radke. First pitch, a fastball, hits the outside corner for strike 1. So Valenzuela 3 for 3 in the ball game. It'll be a while to get back to him, though. Colton Graham still remains the starter for the Eagles. Fastball high and outside, a swing and a miss for Lopez for strike 2. So far, Graham has struck out 5 batters for Las Cruces. Here's the windup in the throw, 2 pitch outside, and this time Lopez not going to bite at it. Did flinch the bat just a bit there, though. Count goes to 1-2 on the ball. Escandon, Aragon, Radke, and Hernandez ran out the order for Las Cruces for the 3rd time through. Here's the 1-2 pitch, fastball. Ooh, just barely misses. High for ball 2. Hobbs fans not liking that one. Evens up the count now at 2-2. Quick reload for Graham. Fastball low and outside and spinning around Lopez, helicopter style, as he's going to go down on the strikeout. 6 Ks now for Colton Graham, and out number 1 for Las Cruces here in the top of the 6th. That'll bring in MJ Escandon now, 6th in the order for the Bulldogs. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground to short. Oregon Mountain taking on Los Lunas today, same time as this game. For the other big series we're watching to see which team one of these will be picking up on Thursday. Curveball comes outside, clips the corner for the strike. Second pitch quickly for Graham. Fastball high for ball 1. Count to 1-1. We mentioned that Oregon Mountain defeated Los Lunas last night, 7-3, to take a 1-game lead in that series. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Graham. Curveball right down the middle for the strike, and count to 1-2. Again, Graham is going to continue to quickly pitch at you if he's going to get ahead of you, which he is right now at a 1-2. He comes back with a fastball, high swing, and that's going to be strike 3 by Escandon. 2 Ks for him, and 7 overall for Colton Graham on the mound for out 2. Las Cruces got to get these bats connected, and they're going to be out of this ball game down by 4, and they won't have to play a game 3 in this series. Angel Aragon now 7th in the order. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And ground back to Colton Graham on the second pitch. Fastball. I'm going to say a little low for ball 1. Hobbs fans going to not be too happy on that one as they yell out some words of disencouragement. Here's the windup of the throw from Graham on the second pitch. High fastball for ball 2. Count is 2-0. 2 outs for Las Cruces. 2 balls and no strikes to Aragon. Here's the windup of the throw. Fastball high. Swing and a miss. And that'll be strike 2, or strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Radke up next. He's got a double to his name. Curveball, low swing over the top for Aragon, and count now to 2-2 on the strike. Most of the hits coming first and second in the order. 4 of the hits for Las Cruces. Curveball, lackluster swing, and that will sit down Aragon as he strikes out for the second time. All 3 Ks for Colton Graham on the mound as Lopez, Escandon, and Aragon go down to the dugout. No hits, nobody on the bases, no runs scored. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up. Your Eagles trying to add on to a 7-3 lead here at Sportsman's Park. We're back at 60 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're getting down to the wire here at Sportsman's Park, but the Eagles have the upper hand, up 7-3 over Las Cruces here in the bottom of the 6th. It's the insurance inning here. Eagles love to add on to that 4-run lead. Punching a ticket to the quarterfinals on Thursday in Albuquerque, a 10 o'clock start against Organ Mountain or Los Lunas. Eagles hitting so far in this game. Best showing yet for Eric McNabb, who's 2 for 4 as a pair of singles. Double apiece for Graham and Alderete. A single apiece for Perez, Kirkendall, and Singleton. 6 players have at least 1 hit in the contest for the Hobbs Eagles. Colton Graham is up. He's the one that had the RBI double. Also walked and flew out to center. He is 1 for 2. Been on base 2 of the 3 times he's been at the plate. First pitch a fastball and comes off his bat and hits the plate quickly. Rolls left of the home plate, so that will be a foul. Continuing on the mound for Las Cruces, the sophomore Zakai Hawkins. Graham third in the order for the Eagles. Curveball gets the inside for strike 2. 0-2 count now for Graham. Perez, the cleanup man, up next. He's got a single to his name, an RBI sack as well, and a run scored. Hawkins coming out with an 0-2. Fastball hit high in the air, but it's going to be over the top of the dugout, or over the backstop here. Over the top of the press box and out of play for the foul. Still holding on, though, is Graham with the 0-2 count. He's going to continue to get a piece of that ball and keep him in range. Hawkins takes the call he wants, turns and fires a fastball. This hit out right next to second base, out into center field for the single. Second hit of the ball game for Graham, who's now 2 for 3 at the plate. And that will be the 8th hit of the ball game as the Eagles take the lead in the hit category. It's going to be a time called as the courtesy runner comes in for Hobbs, and that will be Armendariz checking in for his 3rd time in this game. Saul Armendariz. Edwin Perez will be at the plate for the Eagles. He is currently 1 for 3, has a single and a run, also had an RBI sack. Did strike out once. The Eagles have only struck out 3 times in this ball game. And they lead 7-3 with the runner at first, which is Colton Graham. Fastball, swing and a miss. Actually, the courtesy runner at first, Saul Armendariz. Strike on the first one for Perez. 0-1 pitch from Hawkins. Fastball low and a quick throw down to first. Not in time from Valenzuela over to Perez. Getting back in time for the Eagles was Graham. Or correction, Armendariz. Here in the bottom of the 6th, your Eagles up 7-3 with an 8-7 hit count here. Hawkins go with a fastball inside for ball 2. Only 2 players so far for the Eagles have yet to get a hit in this ball game. And all but 1 have gotten on base in some form or fashion. Fastball goes low for ball 3, and boy, the catcher that time, Valenzuela, held onto that ball for a couple of seconds there to see if the ump would convert that to a strike, and not going to get it. 3-1 count now to Perez. Alderete, Bird, and Kirkendall up next. 5th, 6th, and 7th in the order. Here's the 3-1 pitch for Hawkins, goes low, and that will be ball 4. So Perez picks up a walk. 5, 6 walks now for the Eagles. Time called as Coach Padilla is going to head out to the mound. This might be the pull he's going to do on his pitcher who's been there since the start. We are in the bottom of the 6th. The whole infield going to come in. We'll take a break. It's 7-3. Your Eagles up by 4. The bottom of the 6th. Game 2 of the best of 3 series live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. We do have a pitching change. We'll be back in 90 seconds. We do have a pitching change here at Sportsman's Park. You're listening to Hobbs Eagle Playoff Baseball on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. As they'll bring their third baseman in, Connor Ratchey, getting his first action, relief for Las Cruces. Ratchey's numbers on the season, he's 6-2. This is his 14th appearance. He's had two saves to his number, stats so far, and a 1.74 ERA. Again, his record at 6-2. They put Hawkins, the starter, at third. So he went through 6 innings of work. And now still going to be advanced by the Eagles. As getting all the way to third for Hobbs is the courtesy runner, Saul Armendariz. He's already got a run scored as a courtesy runner. Major speed there, getting all the way to third. Major Bird, Alderete at the plate. He is 1 of 2, time called. Valenzuela jumps up from behind the plate, the catcher for Las Cruces. Marcus Alderete, we mentioned 1 for 2, a 2 RBI double. Flew to left and was hit by a pitch. Here's the 1-0, curve inside, will be fouled out right over the Las Cruces dugout. Eagles have runners at first and third, with 8 hits so far and a 7-3 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. We are slated for 7, game 2 of the best of 3 series. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball goes low and outside, but they get the strike call by the ump. Count goes to 1-2. Eagles trying to add on to a 4-run lead, but they do have actually no outs on the board, so in good shape here. Fastball hit high in the air, but it'll foul over the top of the backstop, heading left now. Hit towards the concession stand. Out of play for the Eagles. Either one of these teams will have a long layoff until the next game, which would be Thursday, the quarterfinals. Of course, that'll get your pitchers time to rest, and all starters will be in contention for that quarterfinal game Thursday morning at 10. Here's the 1-2 pitch, curveball high. Jumping up for it was Valenzuela to make sure no runners advanced and able to pull it down, but a ball call there. 2-2 count now to Alderete. He's 5th in the order for the Eagles. Bird, Kirkendall, McPeters, and Singleton to round out the order for the 4th time for Hobbs. Time called as Valenzuela wants to go talk to his new relief pitcher out on the mound. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Marcus Alderete. Again, the Eagles came in with a 21-6 record, 20-7 for Las Cruces. They both had identical records yesterday until the Eagles won that game. 5-2 the final in that one. After the timeout, back in the box goes Alderete. working on his second hit of the afternoon. Fastball down the middle, reaches out for it across the plate, and gets it to roll through the first and second gap out to right field for the single. So Already with his second hit of the ball game. Nice throw in from Hernandez, and a little late on the throw, but he got it right to the shortstop who was covering second, Solorzano. So runners now at first and second. And that'll be hit number 9 for the Eagles. Already now 2 for 3. Also, that scored a run on the RBI. As coming across was Saul Armendariz for his second run as a courtesy runner. Fastball on the first pitch to Bird for the strike. Bird is 0 for 1, ground to first, was walked in the first inning and was hit by a pitch but did eventually score a run. Here's the 1-0 pitch from the relief pitcher Ratchke. It's wild, rolls out to the backstop, and that'll get all the runners to advance to second and third. So Hobbs knocking at the door again, leading 8-3 in the bottom of the 6th. A 5-run lead. Eagles with 2 runs in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Winds are starting to pick up here. Possibility of triple digits. Fastball low, over the top goes Bird to take the strike. Yeah, could get up to about 100 degrees in this game today. And hopefully not going to that third game as the Eagles, if they win this one, have punched their ticket to the quarterfinals. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ratchke says no to 1 pitch. Now he wants the one he got the second time. Curveball. Ratchke actually falls down on the mound as the ball comes across inside for ball 2. Well, he flopped over the front of the mound that time and got his hands down to make sure he didn't go face first into the dirt. Slowing up just a little bit now is Ratchke on the mound. 2-2 count. The windup of the throw. Fastball, high one. Swing and a miss for Bird. He'll strike out. That's the first K for him in the game. 4th K for the Eagles, and the first one issued by Ratchke in relief for Hawkins. That'll be the first out for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 6th. Easton Kirkendall steps in now. He is 1 for 1 with a single, a stolen base, 2 walks, and an RBI on that walk in the first inning. Ratchke go with the fastball, clips the outside corner for the strike. Hobbs with the 2 runners at second and third. Eagles working on their 22nd win of the season. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Ratchke. High fastball outside for ball 1. Count even up at 1-1. Of course, Carlsbad in play today as well. They got by El Dorado 4-0 yesterday after 2 home runs, beating the number 16 squad 4-0. Curveball comes about head high, then drops down quickly, clips the inside corner on Kirkendall for strike 2, 1-2 count. Rio Grande and Farmington going at it as well. Same size of the bracket with the Hobbs Eagles and Las Cruces. And Oregon Mountain playing Los Lunas in Las Cruces as well. Fastball on the high one, 2-2, with 1 down for the Eagles. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the windup and the throw from Ratchke. Curveball inside, a knuckler to short. Goes over the head of Solorzano, who I think lost it in the sun. There'll be an RBI single for Kirkendall. And boy, it's taken a long time for the runners to advance. They don't send the runner home on the second, but they get the first score. As coming across for the Eagles is Perez. They did not send Already at third, but they do have runners at second and third now for the Eagles. They'll make it 9-3 here at Sportsman's Park. And still just 1 out for the Eagles off the RBI single for Kirkendall. 10 hits for Hobbs, 7 for Las Cruces. And it looks like we have a substitution to hit for Hobbs at the plate. Isaiah Montez will come in, the lefty, getting his first chance to swing the bat. Fastball low and outside, and dropping it down in front of the plate is the catcher Valenzuela to see if the base runners would get off too much, and they don't bite on that one. 1 ball and no strike to Montez with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The Eagles have put 2 runs across, go 9-3 on the scoreboard. Fastball outside for ball 2. And jumping up is Valenzuela as he challenged his Hobbs Eagle competitor there at third base to try to come home, and Alderetti's not going to bite on that one. Fastball down the middle. A little low for ball 3. A 3-0 count now. Good eye for Montez. Eagles up by 6 runs here with just 1 inning remaining after this one. Here's the windup of the throw. Fastball outside for ball 4. That will be a walk issued to Montez. Bases are loaded now for Kenyon Singleton, the 9th in the order. Kenyon is 1 for 3. Started off the game in the second with a single and a run. Got on due to an error and then flew out to first. Hobbs is just 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th, so in good situation. Just want to keep it away from the bases. Don't want to double play to spoil it. Hobbs has left 7 on the bases so far. Curveball inside, gets through third, out to left field. That will be an RBI double as 2 runs are coming home for the Eagles. So Hobbs starting to tack on the big runs here. We're going to get close to a mercy roll sooner or later. Didn't think it was going to get that way, but it's starting to rack him up. As Alderetti scores, as does Kirkendall. And now the score is 11-3 and an 8-run lead for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 6th. Looks like we got a courtesy runner checking in now. Double check to see who's coming in for the Eagles. Jason Puentes in now, the courtesy runner for the Eagles. 11-3 lead, 8 runs on top of Las Cruces now. 11-7 the hit count. Bernie Sikoris, top of the order. He's looking for his first hit. He's grounded out 3 times, also walked to start the game. Curveball inside, golf swing out toward the Las Cruces dugout as it ricochets off the gate in front of him. Sikoris got the walk in the first with a steal and a run scored, but he's kept it in the infield since then, 2 to first and 1 to short. The lefty for the Eagles. 5th time in the order for Hobbs. McNabb, Graham, and Perez up next. 1 out here with the 1-1 count now to Sikoris. Relief pitcher Ratchie on the mound. Runners at first and second for Hobbs. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Ratchie fastball bounces out the plate, but knocked down by Valenzuela to keep it in play, and the count to 2-1. Game 2 of the Best of 3 series live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Fastball right down the middle. Count goes to 2-1, and losing his hat is Ratchie on the mound. The winds are starting to pick up quite a bit here at Sportsman's Park. And some heat going to go along with it as we continue this afternoon. Hopefully not to a Game 3 as Hobbs can try to wrap this one up in the series in this one. Up by 8, 11-3. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Ratchie. Curveball, getting a good yank on it towards left field. Is it going to stay in play? The left fielder can't get to it. It takes a bounce on the third base line. That was Escadon, and that will be a double and scoring a run as well. The relay comes in, but runners are on the bases. So an RBI double for Bernie Sikoris, and that will score another run for the Eagles. That's coming across is Montez. It's now 12-3 Hobbs, up by 9. If Hobbs would get one more run here, game would be over on the mercy roll as we pass the 5th inning, so they just got to get 10, and they're last at bat in this inning, so that would be ball game. Still just 1 out, and runners at second and third. Here's the windup of the throw from Ratchie. Fastball gets past the catcher. This could be the final run as the run coming home, the slide, and that is the win for the Hobbs Eagles. Courtesy runner scoring for Hobbs, Puentes, and game is over. Off the wild throw. I'm not even sure Valenzuela knew it was coming through his legs that time. But he will score the final run, does Puentes. And your Hobbs Eagles winning 13-3 in the mercy roll. Game 2 of the Best of 3 series will go in the books, and the Hobbs Eagles will go to Albuquerque on Thursday to take on either Oregon Mountain or Los Lunas. Again, 13-3 the final, the mercy roll victory here at Sportsman's Park. We'll take a 3-minute break and come back live with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. We're back live here at Sportsman's Park. The victorious Hobbs Eagles and Coach Marco Boyle out in the field hugging all his kids. He's got 8 seniors on this squad. If they win this big game here, the second game of the best-of-3 series, to go to the quarterfinals. Again, the final 13-3, a mercy rule game that ended in 6. And the Eagles keep with their starter throughout the whole game, Colton Graham, who gets a 7-2 record now after the victory in this one. So a great finish for the Eagles. Looking at the numbers in this contest, Las Cruces did manage 7 hits in the game. Cam Valenzuela was perfect. He was 3 for 3 with 3 singles and a run. He was the only multiple hitter for Las Cruces. Ryan Padilla went 1 for 3 with an RBI double and a run scored. Steve Solorzano went 1 for 3 with a single. Zakai Hawkins was 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI double. And one other player getting a hit, Connor Ratke, was 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. So once again, 7 hits for Las Cruces. They were only walked once in this ball game and were struck out 8 times by Colton Graham and had 2 errors defensively in the game. All the runs coming for Las Cruces in the 3rd inning, where they picked up 3. And for your Hobbs Eagles, finishing with 10 hits in the contest, the multiple hitters, that was Eric McNabb, went 2 for 4 with a pair of singles and a run scored. Colton Graham went 2 for 3, an RBI double, a single, and a walk. And Marcus Alderetti went 2 for 3. He had a 2 RBI double, also got a single and scored a run and was hit by a pitch. So he was on base 3 of 4 times. Last but not least in the multiple hitters, Kenyon Singleton went 2 for 4, a 2 RBI single, a single with the run on top of that. So Hobbs getting 4 multiple hitters in this ball game. Bernie Sikoris added a 1 for 4 day. He was an RBI double for the Eagles. Also walked, scored a run, and a stolen base. Edwin Perez went 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, and 2 runs. And that's it for the hitters for the Eagles. They had a total of 6 getting hits in this ball game. And, boy, we just got a score update. Mr. McPeters just gave us the update. They've evened up the series in Las Cruces. Los Lunas knocking off Oregon Mountain 7-5 in Game 2. That means they've got to have a rubber match today in Las Cruces. So that's a good deal for the Eagles to get these guys tired out a little bit, although they will have until Thursday to play that quarterfinal matchup. So that series is 1-1 in Las Cruces, Oregon Mountain and Los Lunas. And, of course, Hobbs defeated Los Lunas twice in the regular season. So going back to the numbers in this game, Hobbs with 10 hits. They were walked 7 times in the contest and were only struck out 5 times, and winning again 13-3. The numbers for Colton Graham in this one, he goes to 7-2 on the season with the win. Once again, 7 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts in his numbers in this ball game. So big win for the Eagles again, mercy roll 13-3. And we're not for sure who the opponent's going to be on Thursday, of course, as they are going to wait to see who wins that contest between Oregon Mountain and Los Lunas. They will go to Game 3. That's coming up here in just a few minutes in Las Cruces. Now, if Oregon Mountain was to win that one, they were the winners of the Las Cruces District with a 16-2 record there. Of course, Las Cruces finished up in 3rd, so that's kind of interesting there. We mentioned that the Eagles beat Los Lunas, though, twice, once in Rio Rancho at Attorney, and then also once here at Sportsman's Park. So very interesting matchup in the next round. Make your plans to be with us. If you're not going up to Albuquerque Thursday, we'll have it for you. We're at this point probably either on the radio or both on the internet. We cannot do, I don't believe, video because of the NMAA unless they will allow us for that contest. But be expecting HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube at the least. We'll have to check to see what the radio situation will be on that coverage. But that will be Thursday at 10 o'clock at UNM Lobo Field in Albuquerque. Of course, that's right next door to the pit there at the Albuquerque campus. Okay, the game that we just mentioned with Los Lunas and Oregon Mountain is not a final yet, so an update on that one. That's the bottom of the 6th. Los Lunas leads 7-5, so Oregon Mountain still might come back and win that ball game. Thanks to Mr. McPeters on that update, too. So, again, Thursday, 10 o'clock, we'll have the pregame show about 9:50 a.m. from the UNM Lobo Field in Albuquerque. Again, the final score, your Hobbs Eagles defeat this Las Cruces team 13-3 to go along with the 5-2 win last night to win the best of 3 game series. Eagles are now 22-6 on the season. Like to thank Evie and, of course, Tiffany for backing us up in this game today. And we will see you Thursday in Albuquerque live on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube. Have a great weekend out there.